on. Yes, we are live. Okay. Oh, I'm so excited. Something about that live button gets me all wired. Okay, guys. Well, I'm so excited. You can see I am being joined for our hangout, our family night right now by brand new independent sales director, Betsy Sugg. Woo! She just debuted November 1st in her Blessed Beauties unit, and they are in their Chevy Cruze, and life is sweet. And so this is your up close and personal interview with a brand new sales director who is going to New Orleans as an independent sales director and is taking at least 2 DIQs with her into that amazing leadership conference. So I know you are excited to hear her success secrets. Now, I've prepared, I'm Jordan Eicher, by the way, and I have prepared 10 questions for you to get inside the mind of Betsy Sugg, because Betsy Sugg just had the DIQ experience that everybody prays for. It was fun. It was easy. It was relatively stress-free, and she did it all while raising her 2 children, Parker and Sadie, who I'm sure she's going to tell you a little bit about, and caring for so many other people in her life, doing so many other things, even going on a vacation in the midst of DIQ. I mean, who does that? And finished a whole month early. So I know you are going to be just excited to hear her success secrets that she is willing to give out to you right now. So without further ado, I would just love for Betsy to jump on and just say hi and introduce herself really fast to you so you can see her beautiful face, and then we'll get started with our interview.
Yay. All right. Can you hear me?
I hear you great. Yes.
Perfect. Thank you. I am so excited.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I know, right? In like what, 7 days fresh or something. So exciting. So I'm sorry. What did you want me to share?
Just maybe your unit name.
Okay. So our unit name is Betsy's Blessed Beauties.
Yes.
Yes.
And where do you live?
I live in Woodville, Ohio, in a small little town.
And how long have you been in Mary Kay?
I've been in Mary Kay for 10 years.
Woo-woo. Okay.
Yay.
And who introduced you to Mary Kay?
My mom.
I love that part of the story. Yes, her mom, who is one of her red jackets currently in her unit and will be a DIQ at New Orleans conference.
Yes.
No question. Okay, so Betsy, tell everybody who is listening what being a sales director means to you.
Oh, man. So being a sales director has been a dream of mine forever. When my mom started when I was 8, I really knew by the time I was 10 that I wanted to be a sales director. Just because of the platform that sales directors have to just share their love for Christ and just the vehicle to really just use this business as a ministry, but to have a bigger platform to do that on as a sales director. And then also for the girlfriends, I just loved just seeing those sales directors, and they just seemed amazing to me when I was little. And now that I'm an adult and can have those as my besties, like that is so much fun, and just allows me to be a better person, a better mom, a better wife, a better sister, a better daughter, because I'm around women who are that way as well, who are great, amazing, big thinkers, encouraging and supportive. And so I want to surround myself with those women. And what better way to become a sales director myself and be able to become that person that I've always wanted to be, I've known that God has called me to be, and just to be able to be that picture to hopefully my daughter, who is only 6 months old. So, she's got a little while, but just be a woman that that God called me to be, and just be able to surround myself with women who are positive and encouraging and big thinking and being in all the little secrets that directors get to be in on.
You're such an I personality.
Just a little.
Give me the dirt. Okay. No, I know so many women can relate to what you're saying. Just the community and the type of person who becomes a leader in Mary Kay is somebody that you want to be, somebody that you are, and someone that you grew into. And I'm just so proud of you. So I know Sadie, who even though she's 6 months, is going to be watching every move that you make. and already has been. And I know there are some other people who have been watching you. So my next question for you was, whose lives have been affected by this decision that you made to become a sales director? People, you know, close to you, far, the whole spectrum. Tell us about the people who have been affected by your decision, and how they've been affected because you decided to become a director.
Awesome. Yeah. So of course my children, Parker, who's 3, and Sadie, who's 6 months old. You know, I really involved, even though he's 3 and he doesn't totally get it, he gets it. Just involving them in my goal and telling him about the car that we're going to earn. And so I, told him about it every single day and asked him who was going to drive. And he said, Mommy, of course. And he thinks that Daddy's going to sit in the back. I don't think he's going to fit in the back of the Cruze, but that's okay. So just showing my children that, I was striving for a goal, and they've seen, they'll see me miss goals, I'm sure, but they got to see me to make a goal. And so they were affected greatly. My husband, who has been a #1 cheerleader, since the day that we met, since he knew that I was in Mary Kay, and has wanted directorship for me, for our family, for a long, long time. So definitely my husband, for sure, just being able to see this goal and dream just come to fruition and see it come true has just been huge. And we're, like I said, we're only in the first 7 days. So, who knows what's coming. And my mom, who shared this opportunity with me, 10 years, well, really 20 years ago when she started, but 10 years ago when I signed up, and just kind of seeing her be inspired by my team's success has really spurred her on to think more about maybe she wants this for herself, and just allowing her to dream a little bit bigger. And then the women on my team, if I wouldn't have stepped out in faith and made a decision to start this DIQ journey, I probably wouldn't have met over half of the girls on my team who have already seen the blessings from this business in, finances for themselves, for, girlfriend time. And there's just so many women's lives that I probably don't even know about, who are really just kind of watching from afar. People watch us when we put those goals out there, and to see if we're making it, if we fail, if they want to, they're going to celebrate with us. So really just the women, and my dad too. I can't leave the men out, my husband and my dad and my son, just seeing those goals come true and come to be. And yeah, I guess people near and far, and people that I love dearly and that I don't even know.
I love it. Can you tell everybody really quick the sweet things that Wade did for you the day after you finished your unit?
Yes. So because we were earning our car and going through DIQ all at the same time, it's been a little crazy around my household, especially with 2 kids. 2 kids outside of all that is already crazy. So
Amen.
we're out of groceries. The house is a mess. So he told me that he had to work a little bit later, and ended up showing up at home with a truck full of groceries. He did all the grocery shopping for me. Usually I do that because I'm kind of a control freak, so I like to do that. But he surprised me with a truck full of groceries and a dozen of pink roses for finishing our huge goal and dream of becoming a car driving sales director. It was so sweet.
That's the best. I just love that part of the story. He's so proud of you. And if he is ever going to watch this video, Wade Sugg, that's a kiss from me for supporting your wife. So I'm just so thankful for you, and you're such a godly man, and I'm just so glad that you're Betsy's partner, not just in life, but in her Mary Kay too. So
sure.
Anyway, okay, let's move on. So Betsy, let's talk a little bit about your DIQ process. What would you say was the easiest part of DIQ?
The easiest part for me, after wanting it for so long, was finally deciding, making the decision to do it. I was so tired of talking about it. I'm like, okay, you know what? I need to just decide to do it. Just do it. Stop talking about it. I think there was a couple months ago that you did a training about stop the talkie and do the walkie. And that has really just, kind of just strung about with me. Man, that's so true. I'm so tired of talking about it. So I think that I finally just decided that I was going to do it and get it done and stop talking about it. And, I feel like a lot of things start to happen once you make that decision, because your mind is made up. You're going to do it. You're going to go big or go home. So that was
something, a thought that came into your mind. It matched up with what your heart was feeling. And then, and that was it. It wasn't something that you wrote down. It wasn't something you told anyone about. It was internal. Is that what you're telling me?
Totally internal, yes, because you
Okay.
can tell people till they're blue in the face what you want to do, but until you decide in your brain, in your mind, in your heart that this is what I've been called to do and I'm just going to start walking it out, that really was a turning point, I think, for me. Um, in July, really, I was like, okay, it's
Absolutely.
go time.
It's time. Okay. And at that point in July, your life looked a little bit different. How old was Sadie Jean at the time?
Sadie was only 3 months old.
3-month-old baby, you guys, and
Mhm.
a 2-year-old,
Two
two
and a
and a
half. Yep.
half year old at home.
Yep.
Okay. And what
Yeah.
did your team look like in July?
Oh, not very big. I think I had maybe 3 active at the beginning of July, 3 or 4. I was trying to look at my stats, but I couldn't find them. But yeah, 3 or 4 active. I kind of had just been pedaling along, and I just had Sadie 3 months prior, so I wasn't doing a ton of work. But I knew that I wanted to kind of jumpstart again, get that train going, because it takes a little bit to get that momentum going. So I knew I wanted to start, and so I started doing facials. I mean,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, so I love it. Okay, so let's keep going. We've got a few more questions to get through, and I know you've got a family to get back to. So number 4 is when we just talked about the easiest part of DIQ, let's flip to the other side of the coin. What was the biggest opportunity that you had to grow before that DIQ process started? You said you had about 3 team members and you knew you needed to start some momentum train. Was there anything sort of laying on the tracks or any obstacles, we could call them, that were in your way, or opportunities that you had to grow before you started that process of DIQ?
Yeah, I would say getting to 10 active, because like anybody, I feel like that's a lot of people's, like, I would say not struggle, but struggle to get those 10 active. It kind of like is a mind block. Like, how do I do that? So I think that was it, because I know that you can attest to this. We got to the last day of the month and I only had 9 active and I was about to give up. And I just asked one more time, like, just I exhausted everybody and I just asked one more time, and that 10th person was like, okay, I'll do it. So I think that was it, like just getting to those 10 active. But when you make that decision to be committed to your goal, you can't give up, because you never will know what lies on the other side of just pushing through, just asking a couple more people. There's a lot of people in this world, and we know a lot of people. Like, who else can you ask? Who else will be supportive of your goal or dream, to help you? So I think that was it. And I'm so glad that I asked, because I know that I wouldn't be here today if I wouldn't have asked that one person one more time.
Absolutely. I remember that like it was yesterday. And I felt like the way that you worked through it and pushed through it was, number one, you had a list. You had a list prepared of people that you could potentially reach out to. And you had even been tracking and sort of making notes on that list of when you had already reached out to that person, what they said.
Mm-hmm.
You had text messages available to be able to refer back to and see when she had told you to maybe follow up with her. I think there was someone who had told you, well, if you need one more person, I'll be your last person, or people like that. So I thought that was really good. And then you reached up and out for advice instead of just sitting on the last day thinking, well, I have 9 OL. I know you reached out to some sister consultants and to me and said, what should I do? I'm one away. And then just being willing to work the numbers was the other part of that. You just said, okay, well, gosh, I've got 9. If I ask 3 or 4 more, I'll probably get one yes. And so you went back to that list and just reached out one more time. And that's how the process started. And so that was a really powerful moment for you, I think, too, to grow your beliefs. So, all right, Betsy, question number 5, inquiring minds want to know, who do you book? How do you have so many appointments? How many appointments do you book? What does your booking life look like?
Awesome. So when I first started, I started out with some of my current customers who I hadn't seen in a long time. And it was 5 years ago, 1 year ago, 6 months ago. It didn't matter. I reached out to everyone. Just that I was, just had a baby and I was looking to just kind of jumpstart my business again. And would they be willing to get together with me? And then from there, I love the fabulous referral game. Props to Michelle Cunningham, who I learned it from. It has changed my business. Really, that is how I got through DIQ and cars, through the fabulous referral game, and just presenting it after they have finished with their moisturizer, after they like me because I'm funny, and just asking them if they know anybody that would enjoy a pampering session like we did here today, and if they'd put their name and number down. And, I preface that I only text or call them once, because more than that is stalkerish, and I'm not that kind of Mary Kay lady. And I just, how many have they give me? If they give me 2, if they give me 20, I'm so appreciative, because it's more names than I had prior to that appointment. And I, would set aside about an hour or 2 a week where I would just go through and text all them. I have all of the scripts saved in my phone, so that way I can just kind of zip through it. And I probably, trying to think back of how many I book per week. I hold about 5 appointments a week, whether it be parties or facials. But I usually, I would say I probably book 8 to 10 and hold 5 a week. And that's how, like, Fabulous Referral Games is the only way that I got through. I don't have any other source of leads, because I have 2 babies.
I love
don't
that.
Don't leave the house much.
I love that, though, because it was such solid Mary Kay Ash technique to get bookings from your bookings. And that's something that Mary Kay always taught. Mary Kay always taught book 8 to hold 5 every single week. And that was very important to her. And so those are 2 things I know Mary Kay Ash would be so proud of you for sharing with everybody who's watching this, because those are the techniques that she herself taught. And so you guys, if you want the information on the Fabulous Referral Game, then you can visit Michelle Cunningham's website and you can get all of the information there. And if you can't find it for some reason, just go ahead and reach out to your sales director and she can help you get it. But I know that when Betsy moved to Michelle's area and Michelle adopted her as a consultant, Betsy joked and said, I think the whole reason I moved over to Cleveland was just so I could learn this referral game so that I could take my business to the next level. So sometimes, you guys, you just need to find your one system, your one hostess program that works, your one referral game that works, your one ticket marketing close that works for you. And then you're off and running, and the block that you had before is gone. And you can just move yourself to the next level. So if whatever you're doing right now to get leads is not working for you, then maybe try this, because it was the magic piece for lead generating that unlocked this process for Betsy. So Betsy, that was my question number 6, was how do you get leads? So now we know that. And question number 7, how do you ask somebody who you think is sharp to listen to the Mary Kay business opportunity and offer that to them?
Perfect. So what I do after the Fabulous Referral Game is a little bit of marketing. Mrs. Cab, I share a little bit about Mrs. Cab and have them fill out their feedback, where they kind of just answer what would make them excited to be a consultant, or what would something that would excite them, and then what would be something that would hold them back. And then on a scale of 1 to 10, where would they rate their interest level? And that is how I knew who to book with coffee. If they were like a 4 or a 6 or above, like, you can't circle 5. But if they're a 4 or 6 or above, then I would invite them to coffee. And I would just text them a script, again, that I have saved in my phone, just inviting them to help me, because I'm earning my first car and they don't even have to be interested in the opportunity. I just need to share it with them and they can give me their feedback. And that is what I did. About 24 to 48 hours after, I would get together with them. That way it's still kind of fresh in their mind. They remember who I am if they were a referral. And that's how I booked all of my coffees, is just via text. And I like to do coffees more than I do the video, because just face-to-face, knee to knee is just so much more, has so much more impact than sending them to watch a video of a stranger that they don't know. And then following up with them, it's just a little bit harder. That's a great resource if, you have to use that, but I just really love career coffees.
Well, and you started loving them because your success rate with them was so high. Mm-hmm. So it was kind of like easy math. Do I want to do 1 out of 10? Do I want to share the video 10, 20 times and get 1 maybe? Or do I want to do 3 coffees and get 2 team members? Or 5 coffees and get 3 team members? Your results were so strong when you were meeting women face to face. And I think there's something to be said for that, y'all. If you're listening, there is something to be said for that face-to-face connection when you're sharing about the business opportunity. So Betsy, let's describe that a little bit more. You show up at the coffee house, your prospect is there after you've texted her an invitation, you met her 2 days before, 3 days before, sold her some product, and now she's meeting you for coffee. What happens?
So I just kind of start asking her some questions to get her to know her better. Usually I've already added her on Facebook, so I stalk her a little bit to learn a little bit about her life, like what kind of person she is. You can tell a lot about people on Facebook, good and bad. But just kind of start asking her questions like, what does she do for a living, or kind of like, kind of reigniting like that conversation from our facial, and asking her, what she likes about her job, what she doesn't like about her job. And I literally share Kathy Hallou's 30-minute interview. That is like what I go through. I think there's 10 points, and then asking them at the end, like on a scale of 1 to 10, what's their interest level, and then really just overcoming their objections. And I read right through the paper, and I stick it to keep it at 30 minutes, because I want to be respectful of their time and my time. And they either decide right there to sign up. I've had a couple do that, or they want to sleep on it, or talk to their husband, or pray about it, which I totally respect all of those options. And then the next day, I ask them, like, okay, I'm going to text you tomorrow or call you tomorrow. What time is good? That way they are expecting my phone call or text. They know I'm going to talk to them. And then following up with them the next day and finding out, what objections did you think of overnight? Or are you ready to sign up? And really just making sure that them following up with them. If I'm going to tell them I'm going to follow up, I'm going to, because they're a potential team member, either that day or in a couple months, if they, need to sit on it or think about it, or I need to layer them some more, which is totally fine too. Is just kind of, coffee to either, share the opportunity they're going to sign up, or coffee to share the opportunity, and then that begins the layering process.
Yeah, I know there were several of them who you walked away from the coffee, and you would text me right away and say, it was a great coffee. She's going to think about it, and I'll follow up with her. And then so many of those ended up coming in as team members for you. So did you have a process where you would, or did you just have like a notebook? Did you have it in your phone? How did you keep track of who you needed to follow up with and when?
I have in my notes in my phone, I just kind of keep a prospect list of like, okay, I've had coffee with these people, and they're my hot prospects. They're my dream team that had maybe said maybe to me, or not right now. But I've had coffee with them. So then I need to figure out what the next layering step is inviting them back to be together with me, or sending them a video, or just being more on purpose with my posts on Facebook, just so that they can see the blessings that come from a Mary Kay business in any way that they can see it, really.
Well, you did a fantastic job this whole process of following up with people. And I know those women, they're probably going to watch this. You know who you are. And aren't you glad that you had a professional beauty consultant who did what she said she was going to do? And when she told you she'd follow up with you, she actually did. So I just commend you for that, Betsy. And I hope that your consultants will follow your footsteps on that follow-up, because I've said it once, I've said it 1,000 times, the fortune is in the follow-up in Mary Kay, because there are only a handful of people who are on the spot decision makers in this world. And all the other people of the world have to think about things, or marinate on things, or explore things a little bit further on their own, or just take a breather before they'll make a decision. And so those are the ones that you miss, adding to the richness of your unit and to your team and to our organization if you don't do your job well of following up. So Betsy, okay, number 9. If you could give any piece of advice to the girl who's watching this, the woman who's watching this right now, who desperately wants to move from where she is to DIQ position to be able to attend New Orleans Leadership Conference as a director in qualification, what one piece of advice might you give her to help her move from where she is now to DIQ so she can go to New Orleans?
Well, it's pretty simple. You, first of all, of course, need to decide, like, it's go time. You got to make the decision, and then commit to that decision that you will do whatever it takes, and then get in front of people. The closer you are to the product, the closer you are to the prospect. And I really found that out during DIQ and doing car, is that you can't add team members by just sharing videos and copies. You have to get together with them to share the product. They have to fall in love with you, fall in love with the product. And that just makes it so much easier to find your next new team member, and your next new team member, and your next new team member, is just by sharing the product. And there are so many reasons to get together with people right now in this holiday selling season, and with our new products that are coming out. Oh my goodness. So you really don't have an excuse to not have a reason to get to other people because of the new products. Have them be a face model, or a face race, something, but get in front of people, because that is where you're going to be able to build your business and find those 10 people that you might need, whether it's 10 or 1. That's where you're going to find those people.
I love that. What I just heard you say was there are no shortcuts. There are no shortcuts. You know, there's a process here that we have to go through. We ask somebody for an appointment, we share the product, then we sell her the product, then we ask her about the coffee chat, and then we talk to her face to face and ask her questions about her in order to find out whether or not this is an opportunity she wants to invite into her life, and then we follow up. And there are no shortcuts. That is the business that we are in. So if you don't like that idea, then maybe you're in the wrong business, girl. This is it. That's it. So that's the process. So thank you so much for leading with integrity, for being a beauty consultant and now an independent sales director that Mary Kay Ash would be so proud of. I am so grateful that you and your mom are a part of the legacy and the future of Mary Kay, because both of you are just absolutely the women Mary Kay Ash would have handpicked and hand chosen. So I just love you. I'm proud of you. Thank you for doing this interview with us. And I know that everything that you just shared is going to light a fire underneath the women who are really wanting to do what you've done. Because just like you said, you know, sometimes it just takes somebody saying it one more time and you have all of a sudden a decided heart and you go out and make it happen, and you don't try to look for any shortcuts and you just undergo the process. So, thank you for sharing that with everybody. And you guys, what Betsy said is so true. We have every reason right now with the double credit November, back-to-back months of double credit contest as a gift to us from Mary Kay Corporate, for you to have every effort that you put in count double. Every face that you book really counts double. Every product that you sell counts double. Every order that you place counts double. Every team member that you qualify counts double. It's crazy. It's crazy that Mary Kay is doing this again in November. So if you missed our hangout that I did a couple of days ago detailing our $1,000 day sales challenges, we're doing 2 days this month as collective units if you wish to participate, where we're going to work and sell $1,000 a day 2 different times. Our first $1,000 day is scheduled for Wednesday, November 16th. Day is scheduled for Black Friday, Pink Friday, the Friday, the 26th, right after Thanksgiving, 25th, I think, 25th, the Friday after Thanksgiving, where everybody's out going crazy and shopping. And so if you want to be a part of that, ask your sales director about the details, or go back and watch our video on that from a few days ago on my YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/C/Jordan Eicher. And if you can't find it, ask your sales director for the link for that. But you guys, it's the holiday season. People are spending more right now than they will the rest of the year combined between now and January. They're holiday shopping. They're wanting new looks. They're going to parties. They're getting geared up for festivities and family fun, and they're decorating. And it's a perfect time and a perfect reason for you to book. And it's also a perfect time and a perfect reason for you to enter DIQ if that is your goal and if it's your desire. So now Betsy gave you her secrets. She told you the process. She gave you the belief and encouragement, and she walked it out. No more talky, just walky. So it's time for you to start your walky process. So get off of the computer tonight and book some appointments so you can start that no shortcuts process for yourself and for your family and your hubby or your spouse or your spice or your kids or your mom, whoever is affected and attached to your dream and your life. So we are going to sign off for now. Betsy, do you want to say goodbye to everybody?
Bye, everybody. I'll see you in New Orleans as DIQ their sales directors.
Yay! We will be there. We'll be there together. We want you to come with us. All right. Bye.